Good morning, Chaver. Today's the 20th day of Tammuz, and we start a new chapter in Teshuva, chapter 7, Perek Zayin. And here's a quick overview of what we're going to discuss. A true path of Teshuva requires two things. One, arousing mercy on one's soul's descent. As we said yesterday, when you do an Avera, you pull down that rope and you pull Hashem along with you, that hay. And number two, crushing the arrogant spirit. Oh, that really gets in the way of a lot of things. So the latter is achieved by an honest and thorough reflection of accounting of one's wrongdoing. You sit down, you have cheshbon and nefesh. Don't be boastful, don't be egotistical and say, nah, it wasn't my fault, it was somebody else's fault, all these different circumstances. Just be honest, you could have done better. Let's take a look here inside. Page 84. The true and direct path to the lower level of tshuva. So generally speaking, we're going to do two approaches here. Let's first awaken with compassion the source of mercy for one's neshama that's been dragged along into the muck, into the mud and the dark and evil places. So what happened to the neshama? Shenafla meigra rama chaya hachayim baruchu lebira amikta. It fell from a very lofty height, literally the rooftops. The infinite source of life came from a place up on high, part of the Yud Kei Vav Kei, in the name of Hashem, and it fell into this deep, dark pit. And not merely a rooftop, but from the loftiest rooftop. And not merely a pit, but into the deep, dark, ugly, disgusting pit. Em hechlois hatuma v'sitrachra, the chambers of defilement and sitrachra, as was explained. And once it finds itself in such a sorry state, and Hashem is indeed in need of divine compassion. So our compassion, and we ask Hashem for his compassion as well. And one should arouse divine compassion as well as the source of the neshamas in the source of life of the four-letter name of Hashem. So since the soul is rooted in the Yud Kei Vav Kei, the name of Hashem, its degradation brought about by Averis, unfortunately, the sin, correspondingly causes the flow of holiness that emanates from the Yud Kei Vav Kei to descend into the chambers of the Klippa and Sitrachra. So hence not only the soul, but its source too is to be pitied. Remember, as we said, you drag that rope and you're dragging Hashem down with you. The pasuk says, he shall return to Hashem, and Hashem will have compassion for him, meaning the sinner shall return to Hashem and have compassion for Hashem that you dragged along with you when you did your Aveda. So how should we understand this? Let's break it down a little bit more. This means we have to arouse compassion for the life-giving power that comes from this power that we get, that comes from the four-letter name of Hashem. Comes through all these different levels and even descended by stage into the chambers of impure Sitrachra, and it ends up giving them vitality. That's what we said yesterday. Imagine the wicked people are getting the energy because you dragged Hashem's name down into that place. This descent came about by the deeds of man and his evil schemes and thoughts. So evil thoughts alone is enough to make the vitality descend into the chambers of Klippas and Sitrachra without even speech and deed, just evil thoughts. The pasuk says the king is bound with gutters, which are interpreted to mean that the king is bound with the gutters of the mind. This state, as noted above, is the galus of the Shechina. The Shechina is dragged along into this dark place. So when should we start arousing compassion? How should we do it? What's the approach? What do we do? So the auspicious time for this arousal of compassion is Tikkun Chatzos, the midnight time for deep contemplation, meditation, and asking Hashem for Rachmanis. We need Rachmanis. We need help from Him to have Rachmanis, and we need Rachmanis on Him because we dragged Him down with us. As pointed out in the note to Tikkun Chatzos in the Siddur, see there like. We find in the tefillos there in the prayers, the crown of our head has fallen. Woe is to us, for we have sinned. Remember in Teshuva we say, Oy mehayolanu. So oy no lanu. Woe is to us. Meaning the sin caused the soul's source, the crown of our head, to topple into the depths of the Klippa and Sitra Achra. The Holy One, blessed be, is called the humiliated King. As Moshe Karadavo writes, there's no humiliation deeper than this, than being schlepped into Golus. I created everything. You have every opportunity. All you have to do is just stay humble, do your job, and instead you drag me down into the darkest of evil places. It's embarrassing. And I chose you amongst all the other nations. Like, you're the cream of the crop, and look what you've done. And especially when a thoughtful person realizes we have so much potential and we're wasting it and we're squandering it and we're doing terrible things with our thoughts, speech, and action. We think about the Eibishter who permeates all the worlds. And Hashem provides energy and vitality to all created beings, both in a manner of permeation and a manner of encompassing. Hashem gives us everything that we need. Hashem gives each person that's meditating upon His greatness according to the range of his intellect and understanding. A person will become greatly and extremely grieved over this. The richer one's perception of Hashem's majesty, the more intense will be his feeling of compassion for his own soul, for its source, the bound and humiliated King. Okay, that's the one step. That you think about how sad it is that you dragged God into this dark place. Step number one. In the middle of the night, Tikkun Chatzos. The second thing is that a person has to crush and subdue the Sitra Achra. Is a person's entire being is simply grossness and arrogance. Why did I do this? Stupidity, arrogance, ego, kameshikotsu, kitagbia, kenesher. If you exalt yourself like an eagle, look at me, spread my wings, I fly so high. The crushing and subjugation, absolutely to dust, is its death and nullification. So how do you destroy this ego? You crush it, you break it down. Guys, 2 more lines and then this is from Perek Lamed Beis. The evil is crushed through a broken and contrite heart, a sense of personal unworthiness and repugnant. I don't deserve Hashem's blessings. Look what I've done. Look what I've thought. Look what I've said. As explained in part 1 of chapter 29, that the nefesh habahamis, even of a Beinoni, and much more so of a sinner, is the very person himself. And when a person's heart is humbled, his animal soul, which derives klipa, is of course humbled as well. So crushing and subduing one's arrogance crushes the klipa and the sitra achra. So this is described in the Zohar on the pasuk offerings to Hashem Elikim, what do we offer to Hashem? A broken spirit. Meaning the offering consists of breaking the spirit of Klip and Sitra Achara. And how do we reach this level? With a broken heart and being contrite and breaking our ego. All the animal offerings are dedicated to Hashem, to the Yud Kei Vav Kei, the attribute of mercy. So this is why all the psukim which speak of offerings to Hashem refer to Hashem with the Yud Kei Vav Kei Havaya. Aval Hashem Elikim, Yimidas Adin, Ein Makrivin Karba Mehema. To the name of Havaya we give the offerings, but the name Elikim, which indicates the attribute of justice, no animal offering is brought. Instead, what's brought? Meaning what's considered an offering to Elikim, that name of Hashem. The pasuk does, after all, state the offering to Elikim. So what offering is it? The Shaber Lahave Ruach Atuma Vasitra Achra Zehu Ruach Nishpara. The offering is the shattered and removing of the spirit of defilement to Sitra Achra. And this is the meaning of a broken spirit. Again, before, what do we offer to Hashem as far as the carbon is concerned to Yud Kei Vav Kei? So we talked about the different ways to do it. Davening is in place of the karbanos, giving gratitude to Hashem, thinking of the greatness of Hashem, even fasting, not as a way of atonement, but as an offering to Hashem. I'm giving up my pleasures to you. That's a way of offering a sacrifice to Hashem, at least in today when we don't have the Beis Hamikdash and we can't bring the karbanos. So how do we bring a sacrifice and offering to Elikim, the name Elikim? By breaking our spirit. And how's the spirit broken? How do we break the ego? How do we break the arrogance? When the heart is broken and contrite, we have to be authentic, we have to be real, we have to be sincere, and we have to think about it. At night, in the morning, during the day, that yes, I messed up, and I didn't act the way I should. I stepped out of line, and I regret it, and I brought down Hashem to that place, but I have an opportunity by doing proper tshuva to return that hay to its rightful place, Tashuv hay, to return that latter hay to the name of Hashem, the Yud Kei Vav Kei. So the takeaway for today is Teshuva reflection, drawing forth divine mercy, that my soul is regal, my soul is beautiful, my soul is a part of Hashem. It belongs in the heavenly palace. Right now it's in the dumps, but I have an opportunity through, number one, meditating and thinking about the greatness of Hashem and the fact that Hashem cares about me and loves me and everything else. And then that's step one. Step two is breaking down my Sitra Achra, my arrogance, my ego, all those excuses, all those, deviations from what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to think, what we're supposed to feel, and what we're supposed to say. We say, Hashem, I messed up, but I'm going to do absolutely my best with a sincere heart to fix what I did wrong, to right the ship, and to return that hay to its rightful place. Chevra, we have a good long day ahead of us. It's summertime, plenty of time to walk in the park, meditate, think what we did wrong, try to fix it, try to make amends, and try to make the world a better and brighter place. Have a good day, everyone. Zeit